Here is a number that should stop you cold. The recommended retirement savings for the average American is $580,000. The average retiree actually has $308,000. That is barely half. And here is the part most people do not talk about. 63% of current retirees believe the United States is already in a full retirement crisis, not heading toward one, already in one. More retirees are going back to work. More are skipping medications because they cannot afford them. More are moving in with their adult children. And most of them did not see it coming. They saved, they planned, they followed the rules, and the rules changed anyway. So if you are in your 40s, 50s, or 60s right now, this video is your early warning system. Most people think retirement is just a math problem. Save enough, invest wisely, retire on time. But retirement is no longer following the math people grew up with. The number keeps getting bigger. The timeline keeps getting shorter. And the systems that previous generations leaned on are quietly breaking down. This is not about being irresponsible. This is not about spending too much on coffee. This is about 5 specific forces hitting at the same time. By the end, you will understand every single one. Let us start with what retirement used to look like. For decades, retirement rested on 3 legs: a pension from your employer, personal savings, and government benefits like Social Security. All 3 together created stability. If one weakened, the others held. That system worked, but it quietly fell apart, and most people did not notice until it was too late. Here is the number that tells the whole story. In 1975, 38% of private sector workers had a defined benefit pension plan. Today, just 15%. That is not a dip. That is a collapse. Instead, most workers now have a 401k, and here is what that shift actually means. With a pension, your employer carries the risk. They guarantee the payment for life. With a 401k, you carry the risk. If the market crashes the year before you retire, that is your problem. If you did not contribute enough, that is your problem. The responsibility was handed to you quietly. Now add a second force. People are living longer. In 1935, when Social Security set 65 as the retirement age, the average American lived to 62. The math was designed for a world where most people would never collect. Today, the average American lives into their late 70s. Many live into their 80s and 90s. As humans, that is wonderful news. But financially, it creates a serious puzzle. Think about it like this. You pack a bag for a 10-day trip. Then someone tells you the trip will actually take 25 years. That is what longevity does to a retirement plan. A person who retires at 65 today may need income for 20, sometimes 30 years. Every extra year requires more savings, more healthcare, and more protection against the unexpected. The third force is one people consistently underestimate: inflation. Most notice it when groceries cost more, gas costs more, and the utility bill climbs. But inflation in retirement is a different kind of dangerous. Retirees often live on fixed income: a pension check, a Social Security check, a set withdrawal. When prices rise faster than income, every year you lose a little ground. Here's the real-world version of that. $100,000 today has the purchasing power of roughly $55,000 in 20 years, assuming a conservative 3% annual inflation rate. You did not lose the money. The money lost its power. Now, apply that to an entire retirement account. Apply it to your grocery bill. Apply it to your utility costs. Apply it to a fixed pension payment that does not adjust. Retirement is not measured in dollars. It is measured in what those dollars can actually buy. And inflation changes that answer every single year. A gallon of milk, a tank of gas, a monthly rent payment all creep upward, while your savings sit still. The slow drift is invisible day to day, but devastating across decades. Now here is the one that hits hardest: healthcare. Fidelity Investments releases an annual healthcare cost estimate for retirees, and the 2025 number just came out. A 65-year-old retiring in 2025 can expect to spend an average of $172,500 on healthcare and medical expenses throughout their retirement. That is a 4.5% increase from the year before. And that number, $172,000, does not include long-term care. No nursing home, no assisted living, just basic medical costs on top of Medicare. When Fidelity first started tracking these costs in 2002, the estimate was $80,000. We have witnessed a 115% increase in just over 2 decades. And medical costs are inflating at 5 to 6% per year, significantly faster than general inflation. Think about that. You could plan your retirement perfectly, hit your savings target, invest wisely, and still get wiped out by a diagnosis you never saw coming.